Hey Hike SEO fans. So slightly different video this week. I want to do a little bit of a case study. I've been speaking to a few clients this week and they've got similar needs when it comes to SEO. So they are a national brand. So they can service and help customers throughout an entire country. However, their customers search locally. What do I mean by that? Well, their customers won't search for the service across the entire country. They'll search for that service in their location. So if this is similar to your business, how do you target these people from an SEO point of view? So I want to give you an example. So this is a website called Zocdoc, and these guys do it pretty well. They do it to quite an extreme, as I'm about to show you. And it should give you hopefully some food for thought if you're in similar situations. So Zocdoc are essentially a marketplace of healthcare professionals in the US or North America. So you can come to Zocdoc and you can look for doctors in New York, or any city you want, or any town. You specify your date, what your insurance is, and you can press search. And what they'll do is they'll return to you lots of different health professionals that you can then go and use. Now, this is great, right? So if I was in New York and I searched doctors in New York, no insurance, then Zocdoc want this page to rank, and this page would be a really good result. However, there's a problem. This is a database result. This is a query database page. And how can you tell? So you can tell because in the URL up here, you've got this question mark address and you've got all of this code afterwards. Now, Google's not going to be able to really index these pages. They're very messy for Google. You can almost create infinite pages. So Google doesn't index these and you can't optimize them because the SEO elements of the page don't update. So what does Zocdoc do? Or what does anyone do in this situation? Well, there are a few things you can do in SEO, and these guys have done it to the extreme like I mentioned. So let's go back to the home page. Now we know if we fill these in, it takes us to a database query page. Can't SEO that. They're not going to drive any traffic to those pages. So what they've done, if we scroll down a little bit further, we will see this. So find doctors and dentists by city. So this is clever, right? What they've done is they've created pages for each one of the major cities in the US. And if you click on it, so if I click on New York, this takes me to a page now where I can book doctors in New York. And if we have a look at the URL, that's what we call a static URL. So this is an SEO friendly URL, an SEO friendly page that can now rank in Google when someone searches doctors in New York. So that's fantastic, right? And it shows pretty much the same results as what I showed you a second ago in that database query. They've just managed to pull it through onto a static SEO friendly page. But what if people don't just search by, before I mention that, they've got some really nice content at the bottom, right? At the bottom. So if you're looking at ranking for a specific location, make sure you've got really nice content like this at the bottom. But people in New York don't just search by New York City. New York City is a big place, right? They search by a particular suburb or smaller regions within New York. So have Zocdoc found a way to optimize for that? Yes, they have. So if you come to the bottom now, you can see that you've got all the little sub-districts within New York, and we've got SEO friendly pages for these. So if I now click on Freeport, we now have a page, an SEO friendly page for doctors in Freeport. So if someone searches doctors in Freeport, New York, Zocdoc can now rank for this. Again, very, very clever. And they've created thousands upon thousands of pages like this to target every city, every town, region, state, you name it. They've got pages for these and they go down very specific. And they even go even further than this. So let's go down to the bottom of the page below these listings. Okay, now what you can also do, I mean, there's even more places here. But if you go by specialities, I mean, this page here is optimized for doctors in Freeport. But it's not just doctors that Zocdoc have got a listing or a database of. They do allergists, cardiologists, dentists, dermatologists, ear, nose and throat doctors, gastroenterologists. So if I click on one of these, ear, nose and throat doctors, there is now a page that's optimized for ear, nose and throat doctors in Freeport. So they've got pages for every single place imaginable in the US for every single service they provide, which gives them maximum SEO coverage opportunity in Google, right? Google's like, well, It doesn't matter if someone searches by city, by state, by district, by tiny, tiny places, they're always going to have a page available. So this is kind of taken to the extreme. This is giving them the most amount of traffic they could possibly get. And they've done it quite well. They've made sure that all their titles, their descriptions, their content is all optimized. They've created unique content on the pages with perhaps the biggest search volumes, maybe doctors in New York, but going down to those kind of smaller districts, they haven't bothered creating unique content. That's kind of fair enough. So I think, if you're in a similar situation where you provide a service nationally, but your customers search locally, you need to think about a strategy like this. Now, it's a lot of work. One of my recommendations would be, don't worry about creating every single possible location, every single possible service that you offer a page for that at first. Just focus on your main services and your main locations. So if you just do New York and just do Chicago, just do those two, and then focus on some of the smaller areas within them. And then once you then start to roll out and you start to have more pages, more SEO value, then roll it out across more areas and more regions. One of the things you need to be very careful of. Now, the reason Zocdoc can do this is because they have a lot of SEO strength. If your website doesn't, let's say you're new to SEO, you don't have lots of backlinks, you've not been doing SEO for very long, you haven't got the SEO strength to be able to support all of those pages. So Google's going to see you and go, okay, you've got these, thousands of pages, but they've hardly got any SEO value. So these pages, I'm not even going to bother crawling them, indexing them. I'm not going to bother ranking them, because why should I? They've not got the value to support, a foundational SEO value to support all those locations. Zocdoc do. So that's why you want to be careful and perhaps stagger your rollout across services, cities, towns, and do it slowly. And as you build up the SEO value, then start to introduce more and more. So I hope that helps. I think these guys are a really good example of what you can do from a local point of view. Check out the website. I'm sure there's probably even more pages that I haven't found. And yeah, if you've got any questions, give us a shout. All right, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.